At Humana, our Medicare Advantage plans give you coverage and care you can count on, along with guided support to help you feel your best. You could have a plan with a $0 premium or an all-in-one plan that may include medical and prescription coverage, as well as routine dental, vision, and hearing. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Hey, you're keeping company with Connor, and you're listening to another Town Square Spotlight. I'm really excited about this one, especially because we're speaking to one part of this incredible book about the Hudson Valley. Not just that, she's an incredible founder and owner of this great online magazine, does social media marketing, has a number of books coming out after this one. Really excited to get into it all. With us, we have the founder and owner of Manual Magazines and also one of the co-authors of Music of the Hudson Valley, Volume 1. Yes, Volume 1. There's going to be more to come. With us today, we have Mercedes Barreto. Mercedes, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Wonderful introduction. Thank you so much.
Well, hey, you're the one who's living it. You're the one that's doing all the stuff. I'm just reading off the notes of everything that you do. Incredible, incredible. Before we get into a lot of, the magazine, the book, and all that, I just want to point out, we don't do a lot of international calls. This is, definitely a first. Obviously, this is about the Hudson Valley, Music of the Hudson Valley, but you're in Argentina right now. Tell me, what is your connection to the Hudson Valley if you're down in Argentina? What's going on here?
Yeah, so the story goes a little over 5 years ago. I was working on, the setup, you could say, of the digital magazine, Manual Magazines. And I was working on some interviews, and out of the blue on Facebook, Joe Mack reaches out to me and wants to collaborate with some interviews that he had in mind, some bands that might be interested. He wanted to be more than anything the representative of the magazine in that in the Hudson Valley. So that was a bit over 5 years ago. And a few years ago, after that had happened, we came up with the idea of doing a book about the talents of the Hudson Valley, but it never came to fruition until I maybe like a month or two ago or so. I said, Joe, let's do it. Let's make the book and let's get working on this.
Oh, that's so cool. So obviously you've been talking with all these artists in the Hudson Valley. You've seen Joe's pictures. You've enjoyed the landscapes. Have you actually physically been here yet?
Not yet, but honestly, I have a feeling if I did go to the Hudson Valley, it would feel right at home.
Beautiful.
Because the people are so kind. Yeah, the people are kind. They support each other. It's not at all like a cutthroat, environment. On the contrary, it's a supporting and everybody's there for each other and truly has the best things to say about each other. And that's so true with what is the title of the book. The Music of the Hudson Valley is a supportive ambient. So.
No, absolutely. As somebody who's lived in the Hudson Valley majority of my life, I can say that it's a beautiful area when it comes to the incredible talent that we have around here, and also the fact that collaboration is so key around here. So many people build and work off each other, and it only just makes things better. So, and that's something that you really exemplify in the book, Music of the Hudson Valley, Volume 1. There is a Volume 2 coming out soon, as you were telling me. But let's talk about Volume 1. What can fans from the Hudson Valley expect from that? But then also, what will they recognize? But then also people outside the Hudson Valley, what can they enjoy and learn about it? Because as yourself, you're not even from here, but here you are publishing this book about it. I love it.
Yeah, of course. So people will recognize that there's some artists within the 8 chapters that maybe they know and they recognize and they just worship in a way, such talented individuals. And then maybe there's a few that maybe they don't recognize, but I definitely recommend getting to know them. And I feel that within the, the outskirts or, outside and beyond the Hudson Valley, people who maybe live in other places that, maybe hear about the book through word of mouth or that kind of thing. I believe that the book will be especially satisfactory within the kinds of people that like a few things, such as there's people who just kind of like flipping through photos, like the magazine effect where you flip through photos, and people like that kind of activity. Also, the book presents a really strong narrative, and not to mention that there's people who just really plain and simple love music. So those are a few different things where, like, if that's how you feel and that's something that you like, any one of those three interests you, then I think this would be a great find for you to add to your library or your collection.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, you got me hooked, that's for sure, because like those are all of my interests. So for those who are interested in this book, how can they get their hands on it?
Right, of course. So two different ways. There's paperback and digital ebook available on Amazon. You look up on Amazon, you would type in The Music of the Hudson Valley by Mercedes Barreto, and it should pop up on the first spot. What we're working on right now is also, if you're in the New York area or somewhere near the Hudson Valley, and let's say you have a shop or you have a store or a library or that kind of thing, because we're working right now on some of the bands are going to be buying some bulk copies. Actually, that's something very new that's going on right now, is that they're buying copies in bulk. So if anybody would be interested in, for example, taking advantage of that opportunity, they can get in touch. And because I mean, one thing would be to buy 1 or 2 copies paperback on Amazon, and that's amazing. But then I also want to be able to accommodate to people who want to buy more than just 1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So then, of course, they can get in touch with me, and I can accommodate to, however many copies in bulk they need. Like, it wouldn't be just 2, 3, 4. It'd have to be, a good amount of copies, But we're working with a print company, and we're going to try to make it happen. So if anybody feels interested in, buying book copies, that's another option. But if not, it's on Amazon, digital ebook, and paperback right now.
Amazing. That is such great merch for a band to offer. Is like, here's my t-shirt, here's my hoodie, here's my CD. By the way, we're featured in this book. That's so cool. I love it.
Exactly. Yeah, I can also say that, the bands that are going to have books as merchandise, exactly, they thought that it would be a really cool idea to even like sign their signatures on the book. And then I felt that what would be even cooler is if people who do get their hands on a copy go like from band to band, accumulating signatures, kind of like, a collection. Like, okay, I have the Willow Bloom Misfit Toy signature, I have Riverside, I have Ico. I'm just kind of collecting the signatures as they go along, kind of,
That's such a great musical scavenger hunt. That would be perfect to do. And just like, it's so perfect for this area. So, of course, you've been working with Joe Mack on this. He was providing a number of the pictures, helping out as a representative. Joe Mack, great guy we just had on recently in his own right, and he spoke about this a little bit as well. A lot of this has stemmed out of the work that you guys have been doing, as you said, for manual magazines, which you have multiple different iterations of. I was looking on your site. You have the Emergency Motive magazine, the Happy Manual magazine, the Sports Manual magazine, and then, of course, what you've been working alongside Joe with, the Talent Manual magazine. Can you tell us a little bit about how you go about running these and what it's like when you interview all these artists? What has it been like to compile this great catalog?
Right. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. There's so many people who really not only, have reached out, but they really do deserve at least that recognition. They deserve to be on manual magazines. And I would say Talent Manual is the one with the most success. We've had international talents from like Thailand to like Los Angeles to all over the place. In this particular case, I think the most relevant magazine, just for the sake of the discussion, would be Talent Manual, because I even had right before we published Hudson Valley book, there's this really, if you look on Talent Manual, you go online and you go to the page, there's even like a review that it's kind of like a review, like a pre-review, just to kind of explain, the incredible, and the versatility of the content on the page. Like, there's so much different kind of content. Not only do we have interviews with the talents and the artists, but there's a few other options. So let's say someone would be like interested in promoting their business or promoting their music on the digital media source. That's also an option. But like in regards to the pleasure it's been to interview all these artists, I mean it's been so incredible reading about all these different livelihoods and the venues they play and the music that they play. So yeah, definitely, for sure, it's been awesome. It's been incredible.
That's so cool. I'm sure you've been able to meet so many incredible people this way and all these different connections, as you said, from all over the world. And I think that's great.
Yeah.
And something you were telling me before we got on the mic was how you also have expertise and background in social media marketing. So how do you feel like that plays into working with the magazine, working with these artists, and to be able to help promote not just you and them all at the same time? How does that social media marketing background help you here?
Well, on one hand, if you're a band and we do an interview for you, there's lots of bands that end up wanting some social media marketing help because they realize, well, we did this interview and it was so great, and then they realize, they need a little extra help, and the social media marketing comes in handy. People who do the interview and they really enjoyed the format and the layout and the effort and the time and the work it took. The same way Joe Mack would say, that his story was that, like, if when he started doing photography, he knew that a lot of bands in the area were just okay with like cell phone photos, and he told them, like, I can get you professional photos at a good affordable price, but they're going to be better than cell phone photos. So it's similar. It's like, instead of bands just settling for less with social media marketing and doing everything on their own, and also like not having enough time to do other things that are more relevant to their band, the same way Joe Mack would provide a solution is the same way I'm kind of, providing that solution as well. Instead of, saying we can do less, the idea of, okay, so we use cell phone photos instead of photographs by Joe Mack, and that would be settling for less. So a solution, and then, in that same way, I provide that solution for people who also not only need really great photos by a professional, but also need help with social media marketing because they know they need to go to the next level.
Absolutely. I think it's great. The way that you're able to offer this really does take them to the next level, gives them something to promote, gives them something to show. It's like, hey, look, it's like not just I'm creating this great music, but I'm getting this recognition and you can check this out. I think that's amazing. And again, you guys can check all of that out. You got Manual Magazines. It's manualmagazines.com, correct?
Yeah, and I'd also like to add in, so there's lots of individuals, the economy is tough these days, so I did set up what would be like a campaign package where the most affordable one is basically like this. It's $60 a week, and it's basically Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 tasks a day. And that the tasks can be anything from social media management to graphic design to video edits, etc. And so I found that that's something that people really find useful because, if they don't have like a huge budget and they know they need help with something and it saves them time. So that's just one of the packages that I offer to people, and people have really appreciated it and they use it. So I just add that in.
Amazing. No, that sounds good. And of course, you can reach out to her through the website, manualmagazines.com. Of course, you can check out the various content that she has. It's fantastic. It's really good stuff. I was looking through just a little bit of it leading up to this, and I know I have more to discover because it is good. The catalog that she has acquired is truly amazing. So as we've been talking, we talked about the book, Music of the Hudson Valley, Volume 1. We've been talking about Manual Magazines, talking about your social media marketing. But something else that you were telling me before getting on the mic, a Volume 2 of that book is on the way, and also another photo book, Landscapes, full of photos and poetry is on the way. Can you tell us about those?
Yeah, of course. I have this contact of mine who we've been trying to work on doing something with his poems and poetry, like just a really good writer. And so it's basically landscapes with incredible, captivating photos by Chris Krieger, awesome just poems by Dan Scannell. And I'm just the one who does most of the organization and design work of the book and a few other elements and facets to the design and the overall putting it together. But I can tell you so far, we're almost actually at the proofreading process. Like we're almost at that part of the stage of the completion of the book of landscapes. We're proofreading it, and then it'll probably be available through Amazon as well. It's another photo book, so it's going to be really awesome and entertaining, and it's going to be another great buy to add to your collection or your library very soon.
Oh, that's so cool. So, Mercedes, For those who want to be able to follow you with all your various entertainment journeys, or if they want to get in contact with you about an interview, social media, anything like that, what's the best way for people to stay in touch with what you got going on?
Sure, of course. You can get in touch. There's a contact form that you can fill out at manualmagazines.com. Like the last page on the home screen at the very top, there's a contact page. So you click on that, you fill out the form, and you get in touch. Or definitely either a direct message on Facebook, you can find me on there as well, or even just an email, which you can find on Manual Magazines. You can find my emails that because there's one that corresponds to each publication, so you can get in touch with me there.
Amazing. And great organization as well. Helps you out, helps them out. Amazing. Sounds good. And of course, we'll have all those links and information in the description of this episode, so you don't have to hunt down very far. Just make it nice and easy for you guys. Mercedes, again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here on this Town Square Spotlight. Before we wrap up, do you have any last little nugget you want to share with the Hudson Valley listening audience right now?
Get your copy today. And I look forward to a volume 2, and who knows, maybe we'll have volume 3, volume 4, volume 5. The goodness just keeps coming. So be a part of the action and get your copy today.
Amazing. Well, one thing's for sure, there's plenty of talent in this area to keep making volumes and volumes and volumes. So I hope that happens. Mercedes, thank you so much for being here on this Town Square Spotlight. I hope to speak again soon.
Of course. I cannot wait. Thank you so much.
Of course. The party doesn't end here. Mercedes is just one piece of the new book, The Music of the Hudson Valley, Volume 1. Hop on over to our sister segment, In Touch, where we talk to the photographer of the book, Hudson Valley photographer and musician, Joe Mack. You can listen to that episode wherever you listen to Town Square Spotlight.
At Humana, our Medicare Advantage plans give you coverage and care you can count on, along with guided support to help you feel your best. You could have a plan with a $0 premium or an all-in-one plan that may include medical and prescription coverage, as well as routine dental, vision, and hearing. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.